the obvious answer would say, you know, what's going on with young people, circumstances they might be born into. The real changes will come through early intervention education, in a sense. And every family that we've met so far, where there's been a perpetrator and kind of court found guilty, every perpetrator has had a history. They didn't just get to the age of 16, 17, 18, 19 and kill somebody. This was a gradual deterioration in behaviour, and some starting at an incredibly young age, for whatever reason. You know, if you've got a child in class, if you're a teacher, and I appreciate there's probably not a lot of teachers here tonight, you've got a child of 3, 4 years of age starting kicking, punching, spitting. We don't just exclude them. So what's going on in your life? Let's look into that. Where is this learned behaviour coming from? So very much, you know, if we ignore it at our peril. I think, to be quite honest with you, it wouldn't be too outrageous to say that we're reaping the harvest that's been sown for the last 20, 30 years with the intensity of the way young people are attacking each other, or some are attacking others. There's always been fighting with boys, and there always will be, but the intensity now is leaving people dead. So I feel that very, very important. And again, there'll be an issue, what about the ones in between? But let's look at these young ones. Let's try and interfere in their lives if necessary. Not just let it go, not just exclude, not expect someone else to do it for us. That we have to take a real interest in young people that are displaying disturbing signs of behaviour. Jake's background was, there was a couple of armed robberies at knife point, there was a rape. The thing didn't go to trial in, the girl couldn't carry on, which she was about 13, he was much under 16 or so. Common assault charges. Yeah, his parents knew what he was like. The police had gone round after Jimmy. He was excluded from school. His party piece was filming someone while he kicked their legs away. You don't just get like that. That's behaviour. Now, I've no idea. I don't necessarily know his family or whatever. He doesn't come from the usual expected background. Dad's self-employed plumber, mum works, sister at school, house not far from us, very similar to ours. But somewhere down the line, these behaviour changes, wherever it comes from, if it's learned or whatever, or it's allowed, but we let, how can I say, are we perhaps growing our own thugs? And is it someone else's problem? Is it a problem for all of us? I think one of the biggest messages out there is also the fact that we all have a part to play in this. And something that affected me. We didn't think this affected us. We were very complacent before Jimmy died. You look at the news, oh, another kid's killed, big deal. And we really didn't say it affected. We didn't think it affected us. And a lot of the killings that are going on will be gang-related, they'll be drug-related, and the rest of it. It should still concern us. That if someone's just been shot on the streets where you do your shopping, then it concerns us. Why should we put up with it? You know, if we are frightened to go out, no, I'm not going down there tonight. I've no idea what it's like around here, by the way. But we're not going out there, we're frightened. Then it concerns us. This is not somebody else's problem. This is for all of us. And I feel if there is enough public opinion behind things, then I think things can change. But we don't expect the government to. I think, you know, the government are pressing buttons, and politicians will have you believe that, I think. We know how to solve all these problems. You can't. You can give a lead. You can't solve things on your own. The police, and I've got so much respect for the police, they're great for us and we do as much as we can for them. They would love to press a couple of buttons. I was talking to Borough Commander the other day, I said, I bet you'd like to press a couple of buttons and solve the problems. He said, of course I would. That's not going to happen. They have a role to play, the government has a role to play, but we have the biggest role of all. Are we prepared to accept this? Are we going to let the 1% carry on? May start growing to 2%, 3%, who knows? Or do we say, this is something to do with us? Don't just let young people run their own lives. Jake Furry is now in prison. He's going to be there for at least another 12 years. There's no winners. There's no winners at all.
Just go on a bit to your question. This morning I was in a school talking to some, they're called practitioners, but really they're learning support mentors, from all going around different schools. Some work in 3 schools, some 2 schools. And one of the things come up about if a child is misbehaving, if a child is showing emotional problems in school for whatever reason, if they want that child seen by an educational psychologist, if they want them seen by anyone to do with education, it's a 6 months wait or a 9-month wait. You cannot wait that long with young people. You know, if they're showing these signs, you should be able to get appointments within a few weeks. Tough to wait 6 months, 9 months. And then if you get a social worker involved, again, you don't have a named social worker, you have a duty social worker. The duty social worker, you have to go through the whole history again of what is wrong. You know, for me, every school should have an educational psychologist that is there to be able to deal with these issues straight away. Because the longer you leave it, the harder it is to solve. And that's this message that come across from these practitioners this morning, and I am fully in agreement. Through my own experiences of a mother, I mean, we've been in primary school, our youngest son has just left primary school. So I've been a mother in primary school for 35 years. I've seen changes come, you know, it's a long time. And I also know with my own children, a couple of them had statements, not for their behaviour, but for their dyslexia and various other speech impediments and that. And I know myself that they're showing signs of struggling. So if you want to see the psychologist, okay, they'll be in the 3rd term, so you're waiting 9 months. We've got to change that, I think. It's so important that children are seen quicker. You know, they say, well, it's money, it's money. It's always down to money. But, you know, if we really want to change our young people and make a difference, we have to put our money into these things.